Alright, I am back with another Destiny 2 video, doing a little experiment here. I am recording this while bouncing Noah and his little bouncer thing with my foot. So if you hear any little chirps and squeaks or sneezes, that is Noah. We'll see if he starts wailing, in which case this video will not make it out. So if you're listening to this, I guess it went okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about crafting today, because this is something that has not really come up recently, and yet I do think it needs a good amount of work heading into next season here. This was the kind of first experimental season of it, but it does seem like everything going forward is going to bring a whole bunch of new kind of crafted weapons to this, the full arsenal that we have now, and I do find myself wondering if this is going to get kind of too overwhelming too quickly. And I think the more I think about this, the more I keep coming to the same kind of solution in terms of how to streamline crafting. Right now, we have the system that is going to be changed already. So right now, they have already announced that they are going to do away with all of these different medium types of elements. So right now, you use energetic elements and adroit elements and ruinous elements and drowned elements. Or wait, no. Is there one for raid ones? There's drowned alloy. There might be a separate one. I don't know. But you use all these different things to only pretty much craft enhanced perks. And Bungie has said previously that this was left over from a previous iteration of crafting, where it was going to be like you extract specific perks from weapons, and then they thought that got too complicated. So instead what they did was just kind of put them into different groups and then assign elements to them. They think that is too convoluted. Already people were complaining about the caps that you were running into that were really low. And then they announced that they're not only raising the caps, they already did that. I think they're max like 10,000 now or something like that. I don't know. They're really high. No, 1,000? 1,000. And next season they are just doing away with them entirely. I find myself wondering, maybe we should just do away with neutral elements entirely, and the concept of extracting neutral element from red weapon frames. I don't see what this really adds to the current system, particularly as more and more of these are going to stack up. If you're like me, you probably have a whole bunch of kind of red bars stored in your vault, either completed or uncompleted, in case you need neutral element later. Obviously, you should just quote unquote, just spend them now, and then you won't have that problem. But you can see a situation where, like, okay, there's some new cool new weapons that drop next season. I want to have enough saved for a bunch of enhanced perks that I can just kind of get immediately. And under the current system, like with the caps the way they are, it's not great. Nor does it feel great, I would argue, to go through X or Y amount of activities. It's like, depending on what you're running, it's like 2 or 3 activities using a weapon that has pretty much trash rolls for the most part. Like you're not really going to want to use most of the weapons that drop as red frames, but you have to do that to extract it, and then you have to do that 10 times for each enhanced perk. I don't really see the point of this. I don't think it's good. I don't see a reason that we can't just unlock these as we go. Like, already leveling a weapon from 1 to 20 takes a good amount of time. Like, even if you're not like just straight Shuro Chi farming, it takes a good amount of time to level a weapon from 1 to 20. I have done that with, I don't know how many, like maybe 10 weapons out of how many there even are at this point. But I don't think I've done even half the craftable weapons yet. And I was playing, before I had my kid, really, really hardcore for like the first half of the season. And like this was pretty much all I was focused on. Whereas now, like I don't really understand why neutral element needs to exist at all. Like it just seems like we should be able to use or to just unlock these as we go and then select them. Put a glimmer cost or something, I guess, but like this entire process of extracting red frame weapons, we could keep the pattern extraction. I think since they adjusted the kind of how drop rates work on those, and now there's not any like crazy outliers like there were when this first started, I don't really mind the like find 2 to 5 copies of a weapon, because that's just a one-time thing you have to do. This is just this never-ending farm of materials that I do not really think adds anything to the game. and just is a whole lot of clutter. You can keep Ascendant Alloy. That is, for enhanced perks, like that would at least make them cost something. And Ascendant Alloy is, depending what you're running, it can be somewhat hard to come by. And then you can obviously get free Ascendant Alloy every week from Rahul, which I think I need to remember to go do him go talk to him right now and buy that. But I think that would be enough to kind of, still be motivation to do this. This also leads into something I've said before, where I think once you unlock a perk, it should stay unlocked. You should not have to pay every time you want to switch back and forth. Like doing this on the lower tier perks alone is really annoying because it's like a weapon and a half worth of stuff just if you want to try out a new perk. On these, you never want to switch because you're not going to want to spend. Okay, so if you have this and you want to switch to this, cost an Ascendant Alloy to get there. You're like, okay, I don't like that. Switch back. That's 2 Ascendant Alloys. And under this system, 4,000 neutral element just to switch to something to try it out and go back again. And with how questionable the benefits are on enhanced traits, I think that sucks. And I still think that even with the system I'm proposing, that you should still have the ability to unlock everything. And, maybe you can't switch it on the fly, but you have the ability to come here and switch it for free once you've already paid that. So if I want to pay 6 Ascendant Alloy, I now have access to all the enhanced perks on this I want, and I can switch at any time. I do not think simply removing, mutable element, adroit element, ruinous, whatever, is going to be enough to unconvolute crafting. I think it is way too convoluted still, and I do not like the red frame neutral element extraction process. I think that is an added layer that is annoying when really I would just rather be starting with the 1 to 20 grind. Obviously, I'm going to stick with my every weapon needs a gold border once you hit level 20 and get that little stat boost. But I don't see a reason that the current system needs to operate the way it is. I do not like just piling up red frame weapons and then feeling bad about dismantling them and feeling like I could save them sometimes. Or it's kind of a mess, and I don't think the current system works. It is just a layer of grind for the sake of being a layer of grind when already this is a pretty big grind to get these weapons to level 20. If you delete that other grind, if you even wanted to extend the grind time on this a little more so it takes longer to get to every perk, I would not say no to that. I guess I could maybe understand that, and then that would take even longer, but I don't really see the point in neutral element right now, and I think it is just cluttering up everyone's inventories with completed or uncompleted weapons that they're need to extract later, or making people run playlist activities or seasonal activities with weapons they don't even want to use. I feel like one of the big problems with crafting is you spend so much time using weapons you don't even want to use that you don't even end up using the weapons you wanted to craft in the first place. Once you're done with something and then a new red frame drops, you're like, oh shoot, I should probably use that. So I don't think the current system is really kind of maximizing its potential. Getting rid of the, medium elements, the energetics and whatever, that's a start, but that's the bare minimum of I think where we should go here. And I think you can absolutely make the case that neutral element does not need to be here as well, even if that seems like a huge change. I don't really think you're losing anything of value, nor do I think it is, too quote unquote easy to craft your kind of god roll, considering you still have to do the full, 1 to 20 grind to unlock everything. And you still have to farm Ascendant Alloy. So I just don't think the current system works. It's okay and it's passable, but I lost steam for this, in trying to spend money on perfect perks for everything, because it just did not seem like it was worth it. And maybe I know they've said you're not supposed to do enhanced traits for everything, and it's just for your favorite endgame weapons and whatever. But I still think just designing a system that is 10 weapons grinded out from playlist activities for 2,000 neutral element plus an exotic material, I don't think that's a good system. So that's my main takeaway is, in addition to removing the purple elements, I would also remove neutral element. I do not think they're going to do this next season. I hope they do announce other changes with crafting that are coming besides that. At baseline, I really want it to stay unlocked when you, even if we're keeping neutral element, it needs to stay unlocked if you buy something. So at least that neutral element investment isn't a waste if you decide to change your mind later. So anyway, those are my thoughts on crafting for now. There's probably more to say, and I guess we'll have to see kind of what stuff comes up next season. I assume that at the very least the seasonal weapons and then the new dungeon weapons will be able to be crafted. Past that, I don't know what other... they were probably going to introduce new whirlpool weapons, but we don't know how many of those will be crafted. It's possible they might make some of the existing ones, like funnel web and crate and those, able to be crafted in the future, because they said they would add more in time. So we'll see if that happens. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Shout out to Noah for being chill this entire time. He's squirming around a little bit, but he'll make a cameo in a video soon. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.